Okay, coming to Hammer Camp, you guys get to be here. You got a great staff with you. You bring Corey Clark, he's new. You come here and you're doing the deal now. You are full-time Izzy, training some fighters too, though.
Yeah, you know, right now I'm getting ready for Yair Rodriguez. He fights November 13th. He's the #1 contender. He's fighting Max Holloway. So we've been in training camp every morning, every day, 3 times a day. So that's November 13th. Holly Holm was supposed to fight next weekend. She actually isn't fighting. She hurt her knee. But yeah, so just full time with Izzy Style. Built a hell of a staff. We got Corey Clark, Jared Palomar, Danny Alcacer. We got a great group of guys. Yeah, so I'm full time at Izzy Style and coaching some of the best fighters in the world. But it's awesome to be here in Ohio at the Hammer Camp.
What do you want your kids when they come here? What do you want kids from Izzy Style to get out of Hammer Camp in Delta, Ohio?
Just to realize that other kids are doing what we're doing. Other kids are putting in the time, the effort. Other coaches are putting in the time and the effort. And when you're at home sitting around thinking that you've done enough, remember that there's Pinnacle, there's Young Guns, there's Burnett, there's the Wrestling Factory, there's other club guys, other club coaches that are just as dedicated. Along with that, relationships. That's why we're here. You know, I remember growing up with you. I remember growing up with tons of guys throughout the sport and friendships. So hopefully they get to meet a couple good coaches, a couple good friends, and just really enjoy the experience.
Speaking of relationships, I see the Carolina Blue on you right now, right? That's your guy.
Tony Ramos,
He's
baby.
your guy, though. That's
Yeah.
a guy who you brought up through the Chicagoland area. Was he Glenbard North, right?
Glenbard North.
Right? I mean, that's your guy, though. Talk about relationships.
Relationships are everything in the sport, you know, and I think that's what makes us unique as a wrestling family, the wrestling culture. Tony Ramos was my boy since he was a little young guy, young little hammer, but he's coaching at North Carolina. So as you see, we got Joey Melendez there, Jamie Hernandez is there, Austin O'Connor's there, Illinois guys, you know. So it's just one of those things that loyalty is everything in this sport, and I'm very loyal to Tony Ramos. He's very loyal to Izzy Martinez, and we just have an unbelievable relationship. So they also got a great thing going. Coleman Scott, they got Jamil Kelly there, Tony Ramos, Harding's there. So they got an unbelievable staff. They're all doing the right thing. So it's an honor to wear Carolina blue for my man Tony Ramos and staff.
You aren't, you know, you're not a guy. You'll send the guys everywhere, though, right? Because I was at Oregon State one time when you brought Calkins, I believe it was, for his. You guys came from Hawaii. It was wild, right? But you guys, you'll send guys everywhere because of these relationships you've built in the past. You're not just a Carolina guy. It's not. You'll send guys anywhere, right?
Like we always say at Izzy Style, if you want to be the best, you got to find the right spot for you. You don't always necessarily have to go to some school that you have in your head that you think you're going to succeed there. You got to get to know the coaches and kids. Not all kids can go to Iowa, and that's what we tell our guys. Even though I'd love that, not all kids can go to North Carolina or the University of Michigan. So our eyes are open, our ears are open to what type of coaching staff they have at these other universities, and the right kid goes to the right place. Unbelievable things can happen. So we love. That's why we're here. There's Campbell and staff. There's a bunch of college coaches here, and it's just unbelievable. And that's why we come. We want our kids to be at every wrestling institution in the country.
You have a growing family of 2 sons now. He told me some really good news I heard today, but your family's growing. You're no longer a high school head coach. What has that done to you time-wise with the shift from being a high school head coach now to being a full-time dad? It sounds like it's growing even more, but what has that been like growing a family and giving one thing up and another thing opening up for you?
That's a great question. It's interesting. When I was in my 20s, I wasn't starting a family. I wasn't getting married. I was grinding. I was sleeping on the couches, sleeping on planes, trains, and automobiles. I was flying all over the world with some of the best fighters in the world, and I was able to put a string of 10 years together as a high school head wrestling coach, and it was just awesome. It was a total dedication. Well, now things have changed a little. I'm no longer the head coach. I'm full-time at Izzy Style, full-time in MMA, and most importantly, I'm a full-time father. I drop my kids off at school, I pick them up, I go to lunch with my wife, and life is really, really good right now. But I'll tell you, being a head wrestling coach is very time demanding. Being a head wrestling coach, a good one. There's a lot of coaches out there that play fantasy football or have all these date nights and things like that. And those were the coaches we were passing up at the end of the day. Those were the coaches that we were making leaps and bounds on. The coaches whose wives wouldn't let them stay after, the wives that wouldn't let them go on far-long training trips and things like that. So I was very fortunate when I was a high school coach because I didn't have that. But now that I'm not coaching high school, I get to spend all that time with my boys and my wife.
Okay. John Jones, you coach John Jones, the greatest MMA career in the history of MMA. It's not up for debate. It's just not. You've been with that whole career. Are you still with him? Where are you with John? I know there's things that happen. I'm not asking you to elaborate on that. John Jones, what's the situation with him? Are you still around the greatest MMA fighter of all time?
Yeah, I'm a wrestling coach at Jackson Wink MMA. I'm still a member of that team and a coach at that organization. Coach Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn, two of the most legendary coaches in MMA. I was just with John at the Hall of Fame ceremony. John's figuring out some things. He's getting stronger. He's getting ready for heavyweight. No one really knows if when he's gonna fight or what. But when it's time come, I'm sure we'll get on the phone and figure out something to work together for the next fight. But any of the fighters down at Jackson Wink MMA, John Jones, Holly Holm, they're all family. So it's not if you're coaching them. We've been together for so long. We're a big family. So
I'm not a moron, but sometimes I am when it comes to MMA. I think he's gonna destroy everybody in the heavyweight division. I think he's a freak. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, I think that the potential's there. I think the potential's there. It's just what he wants to do. If he wants to do it, then he's going to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to do it. So that's exciting.
That dude's unreal.
He's unreal. But
he's a freak.
But
we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Right. The only person who beats John Jones is John Jones.
Exactly.
You've literally said that to me in an interview before.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. I'm a Stipe guy. I wrestled Stipe in college. I'm a Northeast. Right. I live in Northeast Ohio. I live by Stipe.
Yeah.
I'm a Stipe guy.
I'm a Stipe guy too. He's a good.
No, he's a good dude too. Right. But I just don't know if people can hang with John. He's unreal.
Yeah.
But we don't even know if we'll ever see the guy again. It's a crazy thing, man. All right, dad life. Talk about that. You say you pick him up. What's the most important thing? What's your favorite thing about the dad life?
I think the favorite thing about the dad life is just watching them grow every day. Watching their vocabulary grow, watching their drawing skills grow, and just watching their love for life. My wife is unbelievable, and just the interaction of being able to watch her raise our kids and spend a lot of time together. She loves the sport, and she's a full-time supporter of what I do. So, she's usually with me on a lot of these trips, but she's 8 months pregnant, and we're getting ready to have a daughter. So right now, dad life is awesome, but it's about to get a whole lot more interesting. It's
going to grow by 33% more here. It sounds like.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Daughter,
here we go.
With two bodyguards.
That's
three bodyguards.
Well, they always said, you're having a couple boys will make you, realize a lot of important things, but having a daughter will change you. So I'm ready for the change. I'm ready for that next step in my life. I've been through a whole lot, a lot of awesome things, and a lot of winning. But there's nothing like being a dad. There's nothing like getting ready to have a daughter.
All right, we got technique going on in here. Do you have anything else for me?
Technique is great. I just want to thank Madden for putting this on. This Hammer Camp's awesome. You look around and there's no egos in here. There's some of the best coaches in America here, some of the best kids. It's just an unbelievable environment. And things around the country there should be more of this. It doesn't have to be the Hammer Camp, but there should be one in Arizona, California, Idaho, Montana. I mean, just all around the country. If they can do things like this, it'd be unbelievable, and it'd help grow the sport of wrestling. So that's all I got. Thank Mr. Dr. Madden. I appreciate you putting on this clinic, and we're here to rock and roll.